Hey everybody, I'm Adam. I'm an artist. This is Egum. He's an artist too, right? And we're gonna go draw stuff. Ready? Draw stuff? Hey everybody, this is AC from AC Draw Stuff. Thank you for stopping by and hanging out with me on my channel. Today is a special 80s picture that I'm drawing for y'all. I wanted to add to my 3D glasses series, which if you follow me on here and also on Instagram, I like to draw 80s characters because I love the 80s. Almost always animals with 3D glasses on, because what's more 80s than 3D glasses, right? It's a collection of stuff. It's kind of my thing. I love doing it. So today I'm doing a Care Bear because when I was a kid, and still I love Care Bears, and I know they're kind of making a comeback, but you should always go back and know where stuff came from. So go back and watch that cartoon. It's great. I always loved Grumpy Bear. You know, I love Blue, and I loved that he had a rain cloud when everybody else was all happy and stuff. Kind of grumpy. I always liked Eeyore and like Grumpy Smurf. I don't know why. Maybe it's just me. But he's my favorite, so I'm drawing him. Also because like all these guys, they're grumpy looking on the outside, but on the inside, they're solid gold. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like me. So and a heads up, I'm dog sitting a puppy, 4-month-old puppy. So if you hear him in the back, if you hear yipping in the background, that's him, not Egum. He's in his crate and he wants out to play, but I needed some quiet while I record. But he and Egum, they just met and they are bonkers. They love each other so much. So hopefully I'll have some video for you in the next video that I do, because we just got him in here today. But I'm almost done with the pencils here using my mechanical pencil, and this guy is 3 heads tall. And what that means is it's just if you took 3 of his heads and stacked them on each other, that's how tall he is. And it gives you a scale because a normal human would be on average 6 heads tall. So if I drew a human on this page next to him, this guy would be about half the height of a human. So he's 3 heads tall. That's all that means when somebody says that. So yeah, almost done with the pencils here, doing the rain clouds, and getting ready for some Egum action coming up. Here's this guy. Look at him. We were at the gym. He starts doing this twirly thing, like he's working out real hard, which he was. And then he'd stop and look at me like, "Yeah, is this good, Papa?" I'm like, "Yeah, go for it." Everybody was laughing their butts off. He's never done that. I don't know. It was weird. So anyway, here I am with the inks, and I wanted to mention when I started doing the sketch at the beginning with the pencils, you saw me draw his eyesight line, and that was important because I want him looking up at the clouds that I'm eventually going to draw, because he's got clouds on his stomach, so I want to tie all that in. He's like looking up, like, is the weather, is it my kind of weather? Is it going to happen? So I drew that eyesight line, and when I redid the clouds there, it was because his clouds didn't match, or his tummy didn't match the angle of his eyes. If you were to look up at the sky and tilt your head up like that, your torso would also tilt a little bit, so I wanted to fix those. So here I'm using my Micron Pigma inks. I love these. This is my number 3. I used to do a number 1, but this 3 has become my favorite. The number 1s, they're a little bit too thin for your first go, I think. They're great for detail, but also they tend to, the tip is so fine, it tends to get mushed in, and I buy more and more and more. So I wanted a thicker tip for when I'm doing this first run of ink sketches or inking, so they last longer. Erasing the pencils with my putty eraser, and then you saw me put a piece of paper behind there just now. That's because I'm using these Copic markers. They're alcohol based. I love them, but they will bleed, and you don't want to waste your sketchbook paper, so I popped a scratch sheet back there. Working on my 3D glasses, which I'm going to come back to and do some detailing in a little bit here in a couple minutes. But basically I'm just going around doing all the blocking colors. This is my favorite blue that I have. It's also the blue that I use for my clouds. And it's important when you work, I would recommend alcohol-based markers absolutely all day. The Copics especially, and they don't sponsor this video, but I just really like how they handle. They kind of act like watercolor. They'll bleed. You can blend them. You have to be careful when you use them because they bleed. So, you know, make your marks intentional. Here's Egum walking his beat. This is our new favorite trail to walk right along the lake path. And this day, the last few days, it's just been so beautiful, and he loves it so much. And the sky looked like a cartoon. It was crazy how beautiful and glowing and gleaming it was. And then we had the city in the background here, Chicago. So it's it's just been really great getting him out there off leash, and he just sticks right by my side. I'm very lucky. So here we go, getting that cloud done. I love the contrast of the two blues on the cloud. A little pink in there for the hearts. Carrier is where it's at. If you've not, like I said, if you've never watched it, you should. It's always great if you love stuff to know where it came from, and Saturday morning cartoons are amazing. So here, this is what I was talking about. I slowed this part of the video down for you because instead of using my gel pens to make these sort of glints off the glasses, light glint or reflection, I've started using this Prismacolor white pencil and a straight edge, and I found that it gives a more realistic reflection effect. So what I'm doing is I'm giving it a hard line, like usually about 3 hard lines, depending on how big the space is that you're doing. And then behind that line, I'm doing a little bit of a back and forth, filling it in, giving it a little depth, but much lighter pressure and texture. And then I'm coming back in and making sure that very top part of it is a hard line. So I like that way more than the gel pen. I love my gel pens, but for that effect, it's been awesome. I saw somebody else doing it. I can't remember where it was, but now I'm going back and just outlining the edge of that to make sure that the white reflection lines that I drew don't go all the way to the edge. And when you give it a little bit darker edge like that with the blue and the red that I did, it raises it and gives it a little bit more depth so that it looks like the lenses are inset. I really like that effect, and I'm new to that. So the whole point of this channel is sharing stuff that I've learned that's new to me with you guys, sharing that with you guys. I know I'm not recreating the wheel or breaking any new ground specifically, but it's new to me, so I wanted to share it. And then I just went in with some blue for shading in the creases, the crevice and creases. Instead of a grayscale shading, I wanted to do the blue, like a darker blue for this guy, because he's already sad enough. He didn't need any more gray in his life. No, I like how using a darker color to shade the effect that it gives. And then here with my clouds, I'm still working on exactly how I want to design them, but I love the blue clouds with a pink or purple outline, and that's what I'm doing here, because blue and pinkish purple, blue and pink, blue and purple, it's super 80s, like a neon purple. And so I wanted to give this guy a little bit of an aura, an 80s aura, to along with just the fact that he screams 80s between the character and then 3D glasses. And I just thought it was a nice way to sort of highlight him with a little bit of a pinkish glow. And then here's my gel pens that I mentioned, and I still love using them. They have a great, they have their place in every piece of art, or at least picture that I do. Giving a little outline to the cloud gives it a little bit of a depth and a pop, almost like a reflection. Clouds are made of water anyway and dust, so there's going to be a reflection off of them. And then tightening it up, I also use my gel pens as almost like whiteout to tighten up any bleed that came over the lines when I was coloring him. And then the darker blue here and there. I love how he's turning out. I love how he did turn out. It's great. Super 80s. So here's my girl Fluff. And Fluff has not only 3 legs, she's missing an arm, but her tail is crooked and broken at the tip like a candy cane, and she uses it to grab my hand when I touch her like that. And I just love her so much. She's so great. So that's it. Here it is. Thank you guys for stopping by and hanging out. I love how this turned out. If you want to support the channel directly, you can check out my Patreon, patreon.com/Adam Crone. You can buy something from me in my shop or request a commission. Reach out on YouTube, Instagram. My email is on YouTube under the About section. I'm always taking commissions. I'd love to draw something for you. And I want to do a big shout out thank you to my patrons. This would not be happening without you. So look for your name at the end of the video. And thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you sign your work and go draw some stuff. Take care. Sit, Muji, sit. Good dog.